What up, everybody? Welcome back to Comically Boston, episode 23. Today is January 16th, and it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. There's a nice new statue up in Boston Commons with, I believe it's his wife, Coretta Scott King, I believe is her name. Nice new statue. I like it. It's like him and her hugging each other. I like it. New statue though, up in Boston Commons. Go check that out. And last week we talked about the Golden Globes. This week we have the Critic Choice Awards. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Saturday, the Celtics face the Hornets. We'll talk about sports real quick. Then we'll get into Critics Choice Awards. Then last night was the season premiere of The Last of Us. Over the weekend I've been playing the video game. We'll get into it. We'll get into a whole bunch of stuff today. New stuff from Mandalorian, so we're going to get into it. But first, we get to the sports. So, Celtics face the Hornets Saturday. We beat them 122-106. We improved to 32-12. And it was a good game, no JB. White goes down with an injury, kind of scary apparently, neck injury. I didn't see it happen, so I don't know how it happened, but I hope White comes back soon. We need that boy. He's very valuable to this team. But you know, two starters out of the rotation. We still handled the Hornets fairly easily. Jason Tatum had 33, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Al had 16. Smart had 13 and 12 assists. Brogdon off the bench had 30, 11 for 17 shooting, 4 for 6 from 3. LaMelo for the Hornets had 31, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. LaMelo's a good little player, but those are not good numbers for himself, but his team wasn't able to get it done. So look to get some wins there, boy. We rematch the Hornets tonight. They do like these little baseball short mini series where they stay over, like they have a game on Saturday, then they stay in Charlotte because they were at Hornets. So they face the Hornets and they stay there, and then they have a couple of games, and then we face them again tonight. So hopefully we pick up a quick little dub on Martin Luther King Day and make him proud. Then we have a big game Thursday night against the Warriors. So Friday I'll probably be talking about that game if it's worthy to be talked about, and if more things happen throughout the week, which there probably will be. I don't know, this year has just seemed to be eventful, but we got hit with quite a snowstorm last night, so if you guys just heard the snowplow truck go by, first real snowfall of the year, so I'm sure the roads are terrible. Thank God Monday we got a day off, so we're inside today. We'll be back to work tomorrow, hopefully. For me, I'm a photographer for cars, so they need to not be covered in snow. You know, I'm not the snow removal guy, I'm the photographer, so I'm one of the people that, you know, I might not be able to get a day of work in here or there, but I will definitely have work tomorrow for at least one store, but maybe this week will be slow. Hopefully we get no more snow and it will be easy, but at least my thoughts are is if I'm at least having a day off and I'm snowed in, at least I'm going to be having fun making a YouTube video or something. But you see I got my Baby Yoda shirt on. Thought it was only right. We got some new images from The Mandalorian. Mandalorian Season 3 starts March 1st. I am so excited for this new season. After seeing them again in the Book of Boba Fett last, we get a new poster. And Mando flying, pew! You know, he's got his jetpack, Baby Yoda's like in his arms. Crazy. And I know it's probably a stunt guy underneath the helmet, but I just like to picture that it's Pedro Pascal. And he's also doing a great job as Joel in The Last of Us. But some more images. We got this dope image of Kang. Sorry, I know we're talking Mando, but this dope image of Kang. Look at him sitting there, like just... Oh, he's so menacing with the scars on his face, that outfit, the details on this outfit, the way the production design for Marvel and the casting and the outfit, like the outfit coordinators. Tip my cap to you, because this shit looks, oh god, I can't wait. So we'll get Ant-Man in February before we get Mandalorian. So, whew, love to see that. And then, because we're talking about Marvel anyways, real quick, in March we'll be having the Guardians Galaxy Volume 3. Also, all these movies, Ant-Man 3, Guardians 3, Mando Season 3, all of these things happen real close together. And I'm so excited for all of them. But this is our new look at Adam Warlock. He looks phenomenal. Look at Will Poulter. He looks big and swollen, golden. Good for you, Will. He's come a long way from where the mill is, if you know what I'm talking about. But back to The Mandalorian. There was some new images released, as well as the new poster. You see Mando shaking hands with what looks like that dude from Rocky, but he's old now. No, you know what I'm talking about. I forget his name from the show, but he was like the bounty hunter guild's guy. He looks like he's wearing like a classy robe. Looks to be a fancy man now. What is he in charge of? Is he the counselor supreme of the city? But you see baby Grogu in the background behind Mando. Mando's got his jetpack on. But in between them shaking their hands, you guys see that statue? Or whatever that is? It looks like a sand sculpture of a stormtrooper's head. And then it has like a robot foot on top of it. What is that? I was looking at that for far too long earlier today. There's an image of Bo-Katan Kryze looking through the window. Is there something in the window reflections? Nothing that I'm seeing. I love looking at the little details too much for no reason. Then there's this image of, it looks like a ship, but it doesn't look like the ship that they just got in Boba Fett. So maybe they get another ship. Who knows? They got to build Lego toys, right? What? But we've never been to the island of Mandalore, or planet of Mandalore. Actually seen it in Star Wars, so that should be real interesting. And then the last image here of little baby Grogu, and it looks like he's in the cockpit looking out the window. He's in Daddy's lap, as in Daddy Mando. But love to see that. Love to see new images. We talked the Celtics, we talked the Warriors on Thursday. Wait for another video on Friday, or tweet me. I'll probably be tweeting along for the Warriors game. That the Warriors Celtics finals rematch always gets me real jazzed up. So let me know, who do you think you're gonna win? Who do you think's gonna win that matchup? You know who I got. I'm always gonna root for the Celtics. Hopefully we have Jaylen Brown back for that game as well. Critics' Choice Awards was the other night, I believe last night. And Better Call Saul won for Best Drama Series. And Bob Odenkirk won for Best Actor in a Drama Series, I believe. But I love Bob Odenkirk. He's hilarious. I've been watching Breaking Bad for those of you that haven't been following the podcast. And I'm in the season finale of Breaking Bad. Or not finale, but last season. I have like probably 6 more episodes. And it is getting just so crazy. So crazy. I mean, spoilers for Breaking Bad. It is a bunch of years old, but in the final season, Hank, the DEA brother-in-law of Walter White, Bryan Cranston's character, finally finds out that he is Heisenberg. Oh, and they have like a face-to-face argument, and Hank's like, I don't even know who you are right now. And Bryan Cranston, in the stern, bald head with the goatee, just looks at him and goes, if that's true, and you don't know who I am, then I suggest you tread lightly. And he's saying that to his brother-in-law that he's been fucking with for years, like beating around the bush, trying to make Hank think Heisenberg's somebody else, and it's him the whole time. Been right underneath Hank's nose, so Hank's losing his mind. And now Walter's like, be afraid. Be very afraid, motherfucker. You don't even know who I am. I bombed a fucking nursery to kill Gus Fring. Oh, it's the wildest show. And I got my mother into it. She hated it at first. Now she's like 2 or 3 seasons in, and she's like, oh. She saw it yesterday. She was, so dug. I love getting her into shows and that she has no business watching. Like, she watched all of Narcos. She has no business watching Narcos. And she loved it. Loved it. Debbie's a gangster. If you know my mother, Debbie's a gangster. But also last night, stayed up late to watch this one. I know it came out at 9, but we ended up watching it as a family last night way too late. We started at like 11:30, and it was like an hour and a half. But first episode of The Last of Us. Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones, both Game of Thrones alums, where I've both found those characters and loved them both very much. I think actually I saw Pedro first in Narcos, but saw Pedro in Narcos, loved him there. Saw him in Game of Thrones, loved him there, and then years later saw him do The Mandalorian. And saw the press conferences and the interviews for that, fell in love with Pedro as a dude. Now, I'll probably watch anything that Pedro does, to be perfectly honest. He's just so funny. And he's just a character, really. He's a good guy. It seems it. I've never met him personally. But I've been playing The Last of Us video game. I got the first one, part 1. There's part 2 as well. And I played the last 2 or 3 days of The Last of Us video game. And completely, finished the game in, a couple days. I was just so, drawn into it and, felt really like the cat. When you're controlling the characters and you're walking through this world, it's a beautiful world, but it's also, it's a crazy story, But you're looking, at, Salt Lake City, Utah, but nobody's around. You're the only people alive. You're the last of civilization. The only thing alive out there is these zombie clickers that are in the darkness being creepy. So a few people that are cannibals, or they're hunting people down and killing them, or keeping them as captures. It's some crazy stuff's going on in the game. But the show, I think, is going to be tremendous. But I don't know if they'll be able to capture the beauty of the game, because you're so, the game is thrilling because you're so in depth with the characters and you're so with them. Granted, I've only watched the one episode and they have a whole season, so I don't know. I have no idea, truthfully, how this is gonna go, but I think it's gonna be a crazy show. I'm gonna have to buy. I heard The Last of Us Part 2, the video game, was controversial and a lot of people didn't like the ending. But I mean, hey, that's art. Art is something that not everyone's supposed to like something. Some people like some people don't. Some people probably hate that painting, that charcoal pencil painting of Robert De Niro in Goodfellas, but I fucking love it. I love that it's just a charcoal pencil. It could have been a poster from Goodfellas and I would have loved it. But the fact that some guy, took a frame and then charcoal penciled it, and he only did 2, so that's one of 2 charcoal pencil paintings from that guy. Paintings? Whatever. Drawings? Same thing. But it was awesome. The Last of Us, I was very much so enjoyed it. But I forgot to talk more about Critics' Choice. I only talked about Better Call Saul. Brendan Fraser won for Best Actor. He gave for The Whale. He gave a pretty good speech. Chelsea Handler hosted. She was hilarious. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once won Best Actor and Best Picture, or Best Director and Best Picture. Best Director over, people like The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg, Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro, Avatar 2's James Cameron. So they won over all of those actors. Granted, Avatar 2 or the other ones I said will probably win the Oscar, because that's the most prestigious one, if I had to say. But Angela Bassett also won another award for Black Panther, so she's now won a Golden Globe and a Critics' Choice Award for her performance in Black Panther, so I think that has a pretty good chance of winning an Oscar. At least her. Her performance was incredible. But I think that's it. But, I don't know. Comment below. Have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Because that's one of the films, The Whale, there's a few films out there, but there's a few films like Everything Everywhere All at Once that I really want to see, but I haven't seen it out anywhere. I never even seen it in my theaters, local theaters. But I don't know, maybe it was just one of those films that was big in LA and stuff, but I never heard anyone in Boston talking about it, so I'm very curious on what it is. I haven't seen it pop up on streaming anywhere or anything like that, so I really want to watch that. So maybe I'll try and find that soon. So check out Everything Everywhere All at Once. Check out The Last of Us on HBO Max. Check out the Celtics coming up this week. We got the Hornets tonight, the Warriors on Thursday, and I'll catch you for another podcast coming this week. My name's Big Cam. Comment below, DM me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. I'll catch you when I see you guys. Peace, peace.